across the rugged Allegheny Mountains in Pennsylvania. And travel they did. Estimates range as high as 30,000 passengers on Ohio's Underground Railroad routes. Finally, as I did my research, I wanted to get not just the facts, but the mood and social history right. I didn't want my contemporary thoughts to color the story and make it less believable. Here's what I discovered. 1850 was a time of tremendous change. Industrial production and technological invention increased as subsistence farming diminished. People traveled more and on better roads, canals, and railroads. Families who had lived and worked on the same farm for generations suddenly found their sons and daughters moving to cities to take jobs in factories. Even those who didn't leave home caught the spirit of independence that blew across the land. Therefore, it makes historical sense that Lucinda and her brother Will have an itch to travel, to go adventuring. The notion of a different life was suddenly possible, particularly on the frontier, where people valued feisty independence and where rigid traditions of proper behavior were relaxed. As I read about the early women's rights movement, Miss Aurelia's character took shape. Women who believed in the abolition of slavery soon began to question sexual inequality. A husband owned and controlled all of his wife's property, and women could not vote or participate in political life. Women who expressed strong opinions and argued for the rights of others soon learned to use those skills in their own behalf. These are the times and the places in which my fictional heroine, Lucinda Spencer, grew up. Her era was lively, changing, charged with political and social discontent. Imagine living then. Now, step into my time machine. Katherine Ayres, Pittsburgh, 1997. And now, North by Night.
Thou shalt not deliver unto his master the servant which is escaped from his master unto thee. Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 15. January. Wednesday, January 1st, 1851. Here begins the 7th journal in the life of myself, Lucinda Spencer, age 16, of the village of Atwater in the Free State of Ohio. Bless Papa and Mama for giving me a new writing book at Christmas. Last year's was nearly filled, and I had to squeeze in the news of our holiday celebrations and all the gifts. But I find it lovely to start a new journal on the first day of the new year. The good Lord knows we ended last year badly and need fresh hope for the future. Friend Eli Whitman of Salem was caught just 3 days past with a runaway slave wanted in Virginia. Caught. The word still sends shivers up my spine. There is a harsh magistrate who lives in Canton and a kinder one in Warren, so we are all praying that friend Whitman will be judged in Warren, which lies much closer to Salem. But do the magistrates give a peach pit for geography? Or for people's lives? Probably not. I'd like to fill the ears of these politicians, from members of the lowliest town council to the governor in Columbus, and on to President Fillmore in his big house in Washington, with the stories I've heard. Drat the president anyway. Papa voted for him. President Fillmore is a northern man, a New Yorker. So how could he let us down? How could he have signed that terrible law and brought such hardship on God's people? Wild Canada geese, we call the runaways. Birds heading north, always north. We talk of flight paths, of migrations. Even now, as I sit here, safe and warm, I know that somewhere there are birds with torn and tattered feathers, birds who travel cold, with empty stomachs and tired wings, birds in hidden nests, and birds, even now, in flight. Miranda is pulling on my arm and begging to write her name in my journal. She is at least as stubborn as I am, if not more. So I'd better let her write now and get it over with before she learns to spell out any more words.